I bought hundreds of online courses and I sold close to 100,000 courses myself and made over $3 million in sales. And no, it's not a matter of luck. There is a method to madness. In this video, I'll break down a very specific 3-stage online course creation process that helps you go from scratch to a best-selling online course. And if you watch the video until the very end, I'll reveal my effortless method to creating and filming an online course in just one sitting without spending weeks and weeks on its creation. So whether you're a seasoned educator or a budding entrepreneur, these insights will be game-changing. So let's dive in and turn your knowledge into a course that actually sells. My name is Darius Lucas and I'm here to help you build an online business that gives you freedom, leverages AI tools, and is connected to your ikigai, your reason for being. Stage 1, identify. The process of coming up with an idea for an online course can be a tricky one for a lot of people. For me, it was that I had to teach English to hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people and have hundreds and thousands of hours of teaching and listen to people's problems, listen to people's challenges, understand what they were struggling with in order to start shaping up an idea as to what my course could look like and could it become. But I had to be there in the trenches. I had to listen to the clients in order to come up with a certain direction for an online course. Now, for a lot of people, the process is quite reverse. What happens for the majority of entrepreneurs, especially the ones that are starting out, and I hear that with the clients that I work with, the entrepreneurs in our community, where they come to me and say, hey, I want to have an online business, and I heard that I had to build an online course. I have no idea where to start, and here are like hundreds of topics for a course. And how do I start with, picking a topic? And this is like the absolute wrong way to do it, because your decision is gonna be very arbitrary. It's going to be based on what you feel people would want. And so this is where people often go into this idea paralysis, not really knowing how to get moving, how to get creating a course, how to get started this whole thing. And the only way to get out of your idea paralysis is go back to your client. And as you work with your clients, identify what are the problems, the challenges, the hurdles that they are overcoming and struggling with. What these challenges are mostly what probably the majority of other people are also encountering. And so if you're able to address these challenges and problems and questions, you're most likely gonna sort of target that sort of bigger group of people. Now, if you don't have one-to-one clients, if you don't have group clients, if you don't have an email list to talk to, what you can also do, and that's not a popular opinion, but I've done it myself and it definitely works, and that is working for somebody else. It simply means finding somebody in your industry who's way ahead of you and working for them, working with their clients, understanding the problems, the issues, the challenges, the difficulties that their clients are having, and based on that, create your online course. Identify an idea, a topic for your online course. So it's never based on what I want to create, but it's based on what people want me to create. Even when you identified what people may want, you can't just go out and create it. You still need to verify it. Let's move on to stage 2. Stage 2, verify, verify, verify. So very recently, around 6 months ago, my marketing manager, Alberto, and I sat down and said we wanted to create more products and more programs for our community. And we heard from people saying, well, I'd like to learn how to write an ebook with ChatGPT, or I'd like to learn how to build a sales funnel with ChatGPT. All very well, but these are just some of the problems and challenges that people are presenting. However, it does not represent statistically a reliable majority of people who may buy this course if you create it based around those problems. We reached out to our email list and said, here are 4 programs, 4 products that we are thinking of creating. And this is sort of the price that we are thinking of for these products, or the price range for these products. Which of these products would be most of value to you? And after we sent out this email, I was very surprised, but we got around 70 replies, which is wild. Yes, it's not again, statistically reliable number. You can't really say that guarantees the sales, but I would consider that a strong verification of your course idea. Because, we looked at the 70 people and like out of 70, 40 or 50 wanted this one course. So that was pretty easy for us. We thought, okay, so this is course number 1, this is course number 2 that we're creating, and this is course number 3. So this is the verification process. How can you do that? So obviously number 1, the one I've just shared with my story, and that is existing clients, emailing your list, asking them what they want. Now I understand you may not have an email list. Another thing that you can do is organic verification, meaning you post on your social channels and you say something along the lines, I'm thinking of creating this course, this product, this bootcamp, whatever that is, it's gonna cost X amount, would you be interested? And you get people to comment below the post. It's not entirely objective, but you can get a good sense of what people might be interested in, at least at a sort of smaller scale. There's the third way to do that. It costs a bit of money, it's not the easiest, but that means you don't have to have an email list or a following. And that is using paid ads, verifying your course idea via paid ads. If you wanted to really, do it without having an email list and having a client base, having a following, you can simply use Facebook, pay Facebook to actually put these ideas out in front of people, and you'll very quickly see which ones are actually working and which ones are actually resonating with people. And by the way, don't forget to click like and subscribe. And remember, at the end of the video, I'm gonna share with you my method of creating and filming an entire course in just one sitting. Stage 3, develop. So a couple of years ago, I kept hearing questions about how I build up my own membership sites. And as part of my language school, that was my sort of first thing that I had built up, that had become a life force of my business, and it allowed me then to sort of keep replicating the same model, build my business mentoring company off the back of that. So that had become a very solid foundation for my business. So a lot of people wanted to find out how I did it. So my goal was to take everything that I have done and boil it down to a simplified pathway. I was thinking, everything that I have done, how can that become an actionable pathway? What are the key elements? And the way I went about it, I simply took a notebook and I jotted down my entire journey from launching my business, from that very first day of selling my first class, to one person, to 10 years later when I had 2,000 members paying me monthly. And I mapped out the entire pathway. I went through all the decisions that I had made in terms of business decisions, lifestyle decisions, and so forth, marketing decisions. And I mapped out the whole chronology of my journey in order to then translate this into a very actionable pathway. The next question I had for myself in building that course was, how can I get clear on my client's journey? How will my clients be getting results? What is their fastest A to Z path? So here I took the chronology of myself having built the business and I started translating it into this client's journey, just thinking about my client, how they come through the door, buy the course, and they are at point A. Now, how do they get to point Z? And what is in between? Like, what are the key milestones? And how will they be going from A to B, from B to C, C to D, and so forth? What are these points in their journey? And how can I explain that to them in a super clear and concise way? So once I've done that, once I mapped out their sort of learning journey, my other question to myself was, how can I support my method? So I called it 10K membership formula. Instead of myself just sort of keeping at that very theoretical level, I asked myself, how can I support my method with real life examples? So these can be your client examples or your own examples. How have you done this, what you are teaching? How have you sort of walked the talk essentially? And that really helps people sort of comprehend what you're teaching. So it's not just dry sort of theory, but it's rooted in real life examples. Another important question in developing your own course is to ask yourself, what is the best format? What is the best format for my course? Is it a PDF, a video, an audio? What format, what medium will help my clients get results faster? Another question that I had for myself, and that's important to address when you're building your best-selling course, and that is to ask yourself, how can I make my course easy to consume? What's the easiest sort of way for them to just devour the course? How can I make it sort of the Netflix of an online world? How can I break down the material, the knowledge in very sizable, very chewable, very comprehensible bits, right? So that the person would be hooked on this whole learning process and wouldn't just drop out halfway through. So it may be a good idea to have a 10-minute well-structured session as opposed to a 3-hour tutorial that goes on and on and on and is not very well structured or coherent. And lastly, I would ask myself, is this course just a chapter in my book or an entire book? So what I mean by this is, when you look at your product suite, is this one course just an entryway into your whole universe? Is it just teaching one skill and then, or one specific part of your curriculum, and then the person will be sort of guided towards your other courses, programs, and so forth? Or is it the ultimate product, the ultimate course that gives them everything that they need? So lastly, we have to move on to creating a course and filming it. And we know that is the hardest thing to do, and it's the most time-consuming thing. So I'll share with you now how we do that in just one sitting. So yes, creating an online course can take weeks, like literally even months. You can be in your studio trapped with cameras and lights and sort of filming and editing and writing and rewriting and restructuring. So the way I do it, the way my team and I does it, is very simple. I'll tell you a quick story. So for example, now we have GPT coming out. So meaning ChatGPT had released their customizable bots that anybody basically can build out their own GPT, their own ChatGPT essentially. So whether you are, a coffee shop owner, you can have your own GPT. Whether you are a writer, you can have your own GPT, and so forth. And I said to my team, we want to teach it, and we can't spend a month creating this course. We can't spend 3 months creating this course. Let's do one simple thing, as we always do, and that's the advice. Set a live date, do it live, record it live. So what we always do is we say, and in this case it was, we do this on the 6th of December. In 2 weeks time, we're running this course live, and we have to make it happen. And then, myself and the AI expert, we sit down, and possibly in a day or less, we map out the entire thing. We do the slides, we do everything. We sort of bash out the curriculum, and we run the course live. And by recording it live, it does a couple of things. So obviously you're put in a sort of certain container where things have to happen and you can't drag it out. So you have to put the material together, you have to be ready, and you have to show up. Then you are live, your energy is different. Even if it's just a couple of people that have turned up, and ideally you would have sold tickets to your workshop, class, webinar, course. You have these people having turned up, possibly having paid for this class, and your energy is different because you want to deliver the best possible course for these people that are listening. The way you're speaking and the way you're delivering is very different. Then you're not going to stop, you're not going to edit because people are listening. So you're not going to just stop mid-sentence and sort of redo the sentence. No way to do that. And after that, you can resell the recording, focus on delivering the live class, and you'll see how that will change the entire way you think of creating an online course. And we used this exact system to create, I think, 3 big courses this year. We did how to write an ebook with ChatGPT, how to build your sales funnel with ChatGPT, and then this one about GPT builders. And we wouldn't have created this many courses if it was this thing of us sitting in the studio trying to be very proper and so well-spoken and done up and have everything in order. No, we just did it. We turned up and we actually taught the material, and it worked. People loved it, and we have been selling the recordings thereafter. And that's the fastest and the best way to build your online course. So now this video just gave you a good head start in creating and building your own online course. But once you do that, you will have to sell it. You'll have to have your sales page and your ads up and running, or your social media posts out there. So if you want to write a good sales copy that converts, that sells, watch this next video where I explain to you how to craft your beautiful sales copy. The video is appearing somewhere here. See you next time.